Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. Our guest today is Mr. Ali Larayed, the head of the Tunisian government. Hello, Mr. Larayed.
Hello to you and to our viewers.
Mr. Larayed is the person who has the best information on the assassination of Chokri Belaïd. So who killed Chokri Belaïd?
Well, thank you to your channel and to all your viewers. The regretted Chokri Belaïd has been assassinated by a group of individuals. Some of them have already been arrested, but the main perpetrator has not been arrested yet. We don't know where he is, but the units are doing their best within the Ministry of Interior. I mean, ever since I was head of this ministry, and ever since, we shall not stop before justice be done and before unveiling all the elements of this issue. This political assassination after the revolution.
Some are asking that you should be heard by the judiciary on this case. Would you agree to be heard by a judge?
Well, I can be summoned by a judge. I can go and say whatever I know without any problem. In the past, some associations and individuals demanded it when I was the Minister of Interior, and I am an ordinary citizen. Of course, I am the first person, the first leader of this government. I'm an ordinary citizen.
So for you, everything is clear, and all you have to do is to arrest the murderer.
Yes, we pursue our efforts, and the Home Minister Taoufik Mjaied is doing his best to close this case.
The Leagues for the Protection of the Resolution, now the presidency wants them to be dissolved. Now, you as head of government, what is your position regarding these Leagues for the Protection of the Revolution?
Well, this issue has been overblown. It has been overblown totally. Those leagues are associations that were authorized by the Essebsi government, and some others got their authorization from the Jabali government. As any other association, they are submitted to law, and those who are not abiding by law, I mean, all sanctions will be taken against them.
Are you in favor or not for their dissolution?
We are against any association not respecting the law. League of Safeguarding the Revolution or other. I mean, this issue is due to the ambiguity to this name. This name could be justified before the legitimate government. But following the elections, this name leads to think that there's a monopolizing of the revolution. Those associations are reorganizing themselves and shall not hesitate to apply the law against them.
This also includes the Salafist groups, the extremist groups?
Any group, without any exception, including extreme right, extreme left or center, individuals or groups, political parties, organizations. We shall do everything to implement the law and its supremacy over all.
The security situation in Tunisia, now, is it sufficiently stable to remove the state of emergency?
No. I said we hope that the state of emergency would be lifted, but before talking about the state of emergency, what is concerning me is the security of Tunisians and of the country. And if the presence of the army is necessary in the streets, I shall not hesitate to suggest to the President of the Republic to maintain the state of emergency. But the units and the security services are toiling to improve the situation, to lift this situation.
Mr. Ali Larayed, are you the head of government of all the Tunisians?
Yes, this is what I'm saying.
Are you going to put an end to this fundamental relation between the government and the Ennahda party?
What kind of relation are you talking about?
Your predecessor said that he did not make decisions alone, and he said this several times.
Well, Hamadi Jabali couldn't have said that. And recently I heard that those statements were attributed to him, and he made a new statement to deny them. But if you are talking about a relation between myself and Ennahda, and do I belong to Ennahda? Yes, I belong to Ennahda. I'm a member of it. I'm one of the leaders. But I am today head of the government, but I have been one of the leaders of the Ennahda movement. And my functions...
Are you prepared to set a distance with this movement?
I distanced myself already when I was Home Minister in this high-level ministry, and I know perfectly well what it means to be concerned with the interests of Tunisia. And this, you have to be at arm's length for everybody.
Regarding appointments within the civil service, some are saying that over 80% of these appointments were favorable to the Ennahda movement. Are you going to review these appointments, or does this mean that it's a recognition of appointments based on quotas?
Allow me to tell you what I know. I know who was appointed within the Ministry of Interior and in the local administrations. The only criterion is the competence, integrity, and to have clean hands. No political interference whatsoever. Moreover, all the governors and all the local leaders, before their appointment, I tell them they represent the authority of the state. You have to serve the interest of the state and of the revolution. You have to keep yourself at arm's length from all the private interests. This is what I say. At arm's length from anyone, in front of all the Tunisians. Well, regarding the reviewing of the appointments, or to look into it, if there are some serious reservations about the appointment of someone, we shall not hesitate to look into it. Whether someone close to Ennahda or other organizations. The only criterion is the competence and to have clean hands and to serve the interests of the Tunisians.
Is there harmony between the government and the presidency of the Republic?
There's no contradiction.
I'm talking about harmony.
I have just been appointed, and you want already to a lack of concordance?
For example, the president is against the law of political exclusion. You, as head of government, are you in favor of the political exclusion law? Yes or no?
Regarding this law, allow me to clarify something. This law is aimed at protecting the revolution. I am supporting whatever is legal, legitimate to protect the revolution and its targets. I'd like to be inspired by the other revolutions that preceded us. And whatever is not damaging the interests of the people, whatever is not damaging the interests of the justice, equity, and serving the interests of revolution, I will support it. There's no problem with that. But I haven't seen the draft in detail to state if I support it or not. However, on the face of it, I am in favor of all the legal dispositions that are protecting the revolution.
Let's talk about the business community. Some businessmen are unable to leave the country. We're talking about business leaders. What do you, as Prime Minister, say to these businessmen to reassure them?
Well, generally speaking, I'm not reassuring anyone. You know me. Even when I was Home Minister, I tell the truth as is. So this is a very important case, a serious case. If you try to settle it by justice, it will take years, and this will damage the interests of those individuals and to the interests of the state, and the people will not be a beneficiary of that. So we have to find a way to get closer to justice and to take into account that we need to do it quickly and the interests of those people so that they could bring their contribute legally to invest and to develop the country.
Now, if I've understood you correctly, you're in favor of the initiative of Said.
Well, I am in favor of what Mr. Kais has said, and this is what was said during a meeting of the restricted government, and I tried to bring together all the elements of this issue to try to implement policies that will serve the interests of the people and that will not damage the equity and justice.
Fine. Let's continue to talk about politics. Do you yourself feel that you have some room for maneuver in your actions?
Room regarding what?
You, as the head of government, you've gained experience as the Interior Affairs Minister. Do you now have more room for maneuver, or are you subjected to pressure?
I'm not submitted to pressures. I don't bear any pressure except the pressures being the output of the security, the social situation, economic situation. You know that the situation in the country is provoking tensions. The political situation also is triggering tensions that we try to solve through the national dialogue. There are social demands which are sometimes politicized, and those demands need a good governance and to be satisfied. So there are some demands from a social point of view, from an economic point of view, political point of view, security point of view, and this is what we try to solve by the reconciliation.
At present, the Tunisians are extremely concerned about the involvement of groups of Tunisians in the Syrian conflict, Tunisians fighting in Syria. You have clearly followed events, and apparently some groups are now back in Tunisia. So what's the government doing about this?
I know this case very well. I know also its implication in the future when the crisis and the sufferings of our Syrian brothers will come to an end. We have to look into it that way. There are Tunisians who are traveling to Libya, to Turkey, other countries, and who state that they are going there to study, to work, or just to be a tourist. And then they travel to Syria. And on the face of it, legally, we have no possibility to prevent them from leaving the country. But if we have suspicions regarding the youngest ones, that those individuals are going to look for adventures with an unknown outcome, we can stop those individuals from leaving the country, mainly in the airports. But we cannot prevent someone without having sound information telling us that, someone who tells us he wishes to work in Libya or to travel to Turkey or to France, we can't prevent him from leaving the country. It's the case in any democratic country. A democratic country has to find a balance between what the law states and the risks. But I agree with you. This issue, this question, has some dangers, and we do the best we can.
The foreign policy of Tunisia, is it present or not? What will be the nature of relations between France and Tunisia?
The relations between France and Tunisia are good, generally speaking. There is cooperation in some areas, there is an exchange of visits, and I don't see what can trouble those relations.
What will be the first country you visit?
And what I hope is that those relations will strengthen and widen. I'm confident.
Which will be the first foreign country you visit?
I haven't decided yet. I got many invitations from Germany, from some Arab countries. I haven't decided yet. I am busy currently by the national issues, and in the future I'll think of it.
Let's talk about relations with Libya.
Generally speaking, relations are good.
Apparently, regarding security issues, the level of relations is not satisfactory.
Regarding the political will, the trust, they are excellent, but regarding the implementation, this is different. Let's not forget that our brothers in Libya are still trying hard to spread their control over the territory and to strengthen the security institution. They are progressing, and the cooperation is good between us.
Regarding the cost of living in Tunisia, the Tunisians have reached the end of their tether. How can you reassure the Tunisians? You yourself have spoken about the establishment of 90,000 jobs. How are you going to create these jobs?
We are concerned by the rise of cost of living
do you have a solution? Because Tunisia is under pressure from the IMF.
Well, we shall not stop the subsidies, but we have to reorganize them. We shall present this to all the citizens at the right time so that the citizens know who is the beneficiary of the subsidies. And we shall try to have their agreement for all the coming steps to guarantee the equity and the fairness in the future. Regarding the prices, the cost of living, the first meeting of the government organized on this issue, we took some decisions regarding the production, the distribution, the imports, and we also set a list to set the prices, some prices, and to limit this rise of cost of living. Regarding the jobs, generally speaking, is the outcome of investment if we provide the security conditions.
But where is this security?
I'll get to that. Well, if we suppress the red tape in front of investments, national investments, foreign investments, then there will be projects that will bring and deliver jobs. This is why we prepared for 2013 a plan to create 90,000 jobs. And we came through some steps already to do it. I mean, the steps can be done quickly. We're not powerless. We can overcome the hurdles if we succeed in mitigating the social tensions and political tensions, and if there is security.
Mr. Ali Larayed, head of the Tunisian government, thank you for welcoming us here. Thank you, and see you very soon.